everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you haven't made it over already, go check out the poll and vote on what you're most interested in seeing. I have a lot of grooming and conformation handling already, but I've actually been surprised that a lot of people are interested in responsible breeding and the standard, so I'm going to try to make more videos on that. So here I have another video in regards to responsible breeding practices, and this one is going to be going over the adventure box. So what you see here is our homemade adventure box, and one of the most important things to note about an adventure box is it needs to have items that are not normal pet dog toys, fluffy items. They need to be items that are hard, make weird noises, kind of startle the puppies and make them overcome their fear, which will help with their enrichment and development as they grow. So some of the items that we like to use are these chains. As you can see here, when puppies play with them or knock into them, they make noises. We also use these tin cans. When puppies run into those, it makes a loud noise as well. And then the cups also make a really loud noise. So all three of those things were kind of hard, not soft textures, made noises. And then the last item we have here is a pet toy that's like a teething toy. It's got these little spikes on it, so it's gonna feel kind of weird in their mouth. So not everything is like hard and not fun. We do try to add something that's a little more fun to them. That way they're more prone to go over and check out the adventure box and not be like scared of the whole thing. But there are some out there that have, they look really nice. They have cool colors, but most of them have all toys, which that is definitely not the point of this. It's not supposed to be cute and like a fun thing. Well, it is supposed to be fun, but it's supposed to be challenging for them to overcome and experience new sights, sounds, and feels. So providing these items that we've used here will really help with that. So going more into how I made this, first thing is the frame, which we obviously use PVC pipe. I got this at Home Depot, wherever you get pipe from. And I followed the instruction on the Avid Dog website. I'll post a link for that. They have a really good how-to instruction on how to make the box and what items that they use. I've actually copied some of these items from their site, and their reasoning, they'll go into it as well. Same reasoning I said is create noise, different textures, cold, and yeah, just new stuff for puppies to deal with. But yeah, so you make the frame. One thing that I have found is this one is probably too tall. As the puppies get really older, they pull and tug on this rope, and they can actually pull it over, which is actually good for enrichment. Startles them a lot, but it's not designed to do that. So next time I'll probably cut the pole here so it's not so tall and top heavy. But this has worked fine for the most part until they get really old and fearless. But you could make it shorter. You would just need less rope, which is no problem at all. But then the next thing is I have a drill to drill holes in at the top. So I just drill a hole straight through. For the chain, I bought those chains at Home Depot. Comes in a box of like the whole thing's connected. You can easily take them apart with pliers, so you have multiple strands, and then I've just connected it with zip ties. And one thing to note is it is important to have metal chains. You don't want to have those plastic puppy chains because that is not, different for them or loud. It's not that challenging for them to play with. So definitely get metal chains. These have worked really well. They make noise when they bump into them, and they have worked pretty well. Next thing there is the tin cans, which I also got at Home Depot. Just have to drill a hole through the top. I did not use the lids because when I drilled the hole through the lids, there was pretty sharp like metal pieces from it, which I'm sure if you're crafty you can grind down, but just be careful when you use those that you don't have metal shards or aluminum shards. I don't know what that is exactly, but could have stuff poking out at the bottom. But all I did there was tie a knot at the bottom so the can can hang there. It's really important to have them close enough so they can bang into each other, but puppies really love these, and they will dent them up and tear them up by the time we're done. Similar approach to the solo cups, really easy to buy those, super cheap. Just drill a hole in the bottom and tie a knot, and then you can layer them so that they bang into each other when the puppies play with them. And then last thing, as I showed before, were these are like little teething toys. They're actually pet toys I just found at Petco, but you could buy anything really, any toys, any objects. One thing to just be careful of is to not make it dangerous, wear like a loop or something where they could potentially hang themselves or get caught. So these toys I have here are a potential risk if you have a smaller dog, but our dogs' heads are now bigger than this, so there's no way they could get their head through that. But just be careful when you're stringing this stuff up that you don't have a potential hazard going on for them. But zip ties, I don't know if I mentioned that. Zip ties, if you can't get the string through, because sometimes the ends are frayed and hard to get through, just put a zip tie through the hole at the top, really easy to do. So when to introduce this to your puppies, the Avid Dog website also has really good tips and strategy for how to introduce it to your puppies. But it's really important to do it when they're younger than 5 weeks old. About 3.5 to 4 weeks old, you could introduce it basically when they start to walk pretty well and they're like playing with toys and being more curious. You want to put this in there, and you want to introduce it when they're feeding or with mom. So what I normally do is I put their food dish in the middle of the box so that they, associate it with a pleasant experience and it's not too scary. But I'll keep this in their pen for the whole 3 to 8 weeks or 9 weeks, however old they are before they go home. And by the end, most of these things will come off. It'll be totally destroyed, which is totally fine because it's not expensive to make it all. And I kind of use some of the same things, but I also use different toys and products every time. So with them destroying it, I can be more creative and have something else for the next litter. But when I don't glue it so that it's easy to take down, and I just store all the PVC pipe in a bin. Anything that's salvageable, store with it. The chains normally make it through the 8 weeks, so I keep those for every time. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. It's super easy to make, really good enrichment for them. Don't just put toys on it, put like items that will be loud and a new experience for them to experience. But yeah, have fun with it. If you have any questions about items, let me know. Most of this is really easy to find, either pet store, Walmart, Home Depot, you name it. Doesn't have to be exactly like this. But like I said, I'll post the Avid Dog, I'm not even sure if I'm saying that right, Avidog website in the video description for you to go find. They have a lot of tips, examples, and research behind why we use these. But all right, thanks for watching.